Hello. So this week you guys are going to be using a rectangular prism. We're going to have a little mini project. So I am going to show you how I do mine. I found a shoebox. I highly recommend that you guys use a measurement of centimeters. It's the easiest measurement to use, especially when you're multiplying. However, I could not find a tape measure with centimeters, so I'm going to have to use inches. So you might be in the same boat as I am. So usually like a sewing kit will come with a tape measure with centimeters. So ask your parents if they have one. So when we go to measure our box, you have to measure the length, width, and height. So everyone should have 3 dimensions, right? So I'm going to measure how long my box is. So it's 12.25 or 12 1/4. So I'm going to use decimals whenever possible. So I'm going to write down 12.25. And I want to know how tall my box is. It is almost exactly 5 inches, which is good. No decimals, right? And then when I want to know how wide it is, this way. That is, oh, I've already done that one. I'm sorry. This way, just kidding. All right, this way, once again, I see about 1/4, so 9.25, 9 1/4 inches. So I'm going to write down 9.25 inches. So now I've written down my measurements. Let me pull up my Google form if I can find it. And of course I cannot. Whoops. Right, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. So when you open your Google Doc, I've made it a cloud assignment. So when you open that Google Doc, it will automatically share with me. So you don't have to hit share or anything. You just type directly on it, okay? All right, so here's mine. And I do ask that you write in a color, type in a color other than black so I can find your answers easily. So I'm going to use this red color. It's already picked. So my dimensions are 9.25 inches. Uh-oh, why isn't it typing? 0.25 inches by 12.25 inches by 5 inches. All right, so I've done the first one. I've listed my dimensions and I included my units. So now if I take my shoebox and I cut it parallel to its base, so I'm going to cut it this way. So imagine, I'm not really cutting it, but I'm imagining if I took a big knife and I cut this box and then I saw what 2-dimensional cross section I see, it will be a rectangle. Not a rectangular prism because cross sections are only 2-dimensional, not 3-dimensional. Okay. And then what if I cut it perpendicular to its base? What if I went straight down, cut it in half, and I looked at it? I would also see a rectangle, right? Rectangle, come on. Rectangle. Still didn't get my color. All right, now what is the surface area of my prism? So I'm going to get my calculator and I'm going to multiply. I should end up adding together 6 numbers, right? This thing has 6 sides. So I have my 2 sides are going to be the same dimensions, the same surface area. The front and back are the same surface areas and the top and bottom are the same. So I multiplied all my numbers. I had written them down earlier. So my 2 sides are 46.25. And of course, I'm going to multiply that by 2. And then I'm going to multiply two of my other sides are 113.3125. And I'm going to multiply that by 2. Uh-oh, I put 3. And then my other 2 sides was 61.25, and then I'm going to multiply that by 2, and I'm going to add up those 6 sides. Let me change my color. And I got, what did I get? I got 441.625 squared inches. Now, why is it squared inches? Because I multiplied a dimension times a dimension, inches times inches. So that's why area is always squared inches, okay? Now it says, what if I make this box 10 times bigger? What's going to be the new surface area? So guys, do you think I just multiplied my surface area by 10? Do you think that's right? Okay, it's not right. It's not right, because if I go back to my original dimensions, I don't just multiply one of these numbers by 10. I'm multiplying 9.25 times 10, and then I'm multiplying 12.25 times 10. So 10 times 10 is 100, really. So if you think, okay, all I have to do is multiply my area here by 10, that's not correct. So be careful. I'm not going to go any further, but I'm just letting you know what a lot of people would do here, and multiplying this number right here by 10 is not going to be right. Okay. And I'm going to check your measure. I'm going to check your calculations. So make sure you do those right. I've kind of given you a big hint on what you could multiply by. But if you're not sure, go back to the original numbers, multiply each of these 3 numbers by 10, and then do this part again right down here for your 6 sides and figure out what your scale factor is. All right, so then for number 5, you go back to your original numbers, and all you do to get volume is you multiply these together. So in my case, I'm going to get 9.25 times 12.25 times 5.25, and I would write all that out, but just for the sake of time, I'm not writing it out, but you need to, okay? But my answer is, let's see, I wrote it down, 566.56 cubic inches. So now why is volume cubic inches? It's because we multiply 3 dimensions, width times length times height. Inches times inches times inches is inches cubed, okay? So let me make a note here, show your work. Give me your math problem. I didn't do it for the sake of time, but you guys show me your math problem. And now look at the very bottom one. What if I took those 3 dimensions and I found out what the numbers would be 1/10 of the size of my box? Now, you can do one of 2 things. You can multiply each of these dimensions by 1/10, multiply by 1/10, excuse me, or the same thing as multiplying by 1/10 is dividing by 10. Same thing is to divide by 10, okay? Same thing as multiplying by a 10. Oh, I didn't see that. All right, so once again, don't try to just divide this original answer right here for number 5 by 10. If you do that, you're going to get number 6 wrong. Okay, so think, all right, I'm dividing the first number by 10, I'm dividing the second number by 10, and I'm multiplying the third number by 10. So it's, this volume isn't 10 times smaller, right? 10 times 10 times 10. So anyway, so make sure you give me a good math problem and give me a good answer. Like I said, I will check your calculations. Now, if you just so happen to have a box identical to mine and your numbers are exactly the same as mine, I'm so sorry, but it doesn't count. You're going to have to find another box. Go find a cereal box. Go find anything. We have boxes in our houses, right? Lots of them. If you don't have a box, use a coffee table. Just imagine that it's solid, right? It doesn't have any open spaces all around it. Okay. I hope that helps. And I look forward to seeing what you guys find. Actually, you know what? Just type on there what you're measuring. So I should have added, I might add that question, what are you measuring? Just so you can let me know if it is a cereal box and you end up having the size of, you know, a refrigerator box. I want to know that, uh-oh, something's wrong. So anyway, I hope this isn't too hard of an assignment. I don't think it is. And I hope you enjoy it, and everybody have a good week, and I will talk to you guys soon.